Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for the men's semi-finals of the Madrid Sevens. This one, Fiji taking on France. These two sides in some terrific form. And currently, of course, this is going to be a massive game. And there is another one just around the corner between Argentina and New Zealand. Four top sides, all with potential of being able to win this competition. But Fiji, they have won 3 games from 3, pulling off wins over New Zealand, Ireland, and South Africa, in which they did actually win that game up against the Blitzboks relatively comfortably. Whereas for France, they had a tough opening contest. Not really, though. They won it by 28 or so points. Then their second game was a lot more tricky. They were defeated by Argentina, then having a close game with Great Britain in their final match as well. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will win this contest? Will it be the Flying Fijians, who have all of a sudden, with the return of Jerry Tuwai, found some new momentum and a new lease on their Sevens season so far? We have to remember they haven't won a gold medal, but this game now is a great one to get kick-started towards that final, build their momentum, and then head towards that big final matchup. We get go high from Christian. Welcome in, mate. Hope you are doing extremely well. Toso Fiti Toso says below there. Also, Go Fiji Go says Uma. Hi, Kiwi Lads. Says amazing product. Welcome in. Loud and Proud says Go Fiji Go. Seems like a lot of people back in the Fijians in this contest. Is Dupont playing? He certainly is. Now, the starting lineup right when I started the stream had not actually been announced. I have a look now, and it actually still doesn't have the announcement, so we have to wait a little bit longer before we find out if Antoine Dupont has got himself a start in this matchup. But I'm sure whether he's in the starting lineup or coming off the bench, he's going to be a massively impactful player for the French. Whereas for the Fijians, like I mentioned, Jerry Tuwai, of course, such a crucial member of this setup. Alongside that, you have got the likes of Toria Vailawa. You've got Sevu Mothinothangi, who has been playing very well, having a lot of carries throughout this competition as well. Right, the starting lineups have been announced, ladies and gentlemen, and they are going to be as follows. For the Fijians, it is Jeremiah Matana, Sevu Mothinothangi. Also, they have gone with Walangi in the starting lineup. We saw him have a decent game in the last contest up against the South Africans. Natungu is there, Ioani Temba, Ponipati Lognamasi, and then also Jerry Tuwai is in the starting lineup once again. For the French, it is Steven Perez Martin. So no Dupont in the starting side, but he will be making his way off the bench. Pauline Reva, Grandidier, Jordan Sefo, Theo Fournier, Rebage, and Joseph Jefferson Lee, the last man in the starting lineup for this French side. The second half of the game between Canada and France is currently taking place. It is a relatively close one as well in their semi-final. Of course, the winner of that will go on to face Australia. The loser of that contest will go head-to-head with the New Zealanders. We have got Alumithi in the chat as well. Welcome in. Hope you are doing well. Fiji all the way, says Kushvin. And thanks for the commentary, says Parash. No worries at all. And we are going to be here for the next game for the Fijians. Whether they are winning or losing this contest, we are covering their next game on their channel as well. But this one getting very close, ladies and gents. Like I mentioned, the next game after this one, it is going to be Argentina taking on New Zealand. Now, that is for the other spot in the final. And those two sides in some pretty decent form as of late. Although, of course, the Fijians, they were able to beat New Zealand in the regular group stage match. For the French, they were beaten by Argentina. So there is a chance that we could see a rematch of Group B in the final, or a rematch of Group B perhaps in the third place game, and then a rematch of the other pool, Pool A, could also take place depending on how these two pools get situated. And Go Fiji Go says Junior Bucks. Of course, we've got a few more games coming later on tonight as well, ladies and gentlemen, in the Sevens circuit, with the likes of Samoa playing up against the USA. That is for a spot on the circuit on the line. Is this the semi-finals? It is indeed. Now, you might be confused a little bit for this leg because they haven't had quarterfinals. And a lot of times, of course, in the Sevens, we have normally had a quarterfinal underway first of all. But in this one, because there's only the 8 sides, they do not have that quarterfinal. So hopefully that clears up some confusion around the fact that this competition is a slightly different format than we are used to seeing. But yeah, no matter what, it's going to be a great game. And do let me know your score predictions and at the chat as well. And Gracias says, Matt, no worries at all. And Let's Go Fiji says Josateki in there as well. Yes, it's the semi-final, says below. It certainly is. So the stakes are a little bit higher, although it also means you have to get one less game right in a row to be able to win this competition. And I honestly do believe that that will benefit Fiji, because at times throughout this season, definitely over the last couple legs, it's been such a great group stage for the Fijians in the pools. And then they go into the next game, whether that's the quarters or the semi, and that's normally when we see them lose. I don't think that's going to be the case for the Fijians. I actually back them to win the whole tournament, so they have to get themselves a win here. And we have got there, is it starting? Not quite. Still Canada versus France has taken place, so they are just about to get underway once this game comes to a close. And geez, Hamish, Few, it's hard keeping up with so many games. I've lost the tennis. I heard for Djokovic. Says Moa Hunters. And there's, how was your dinner, bro? It was very nice. Although I haven't actually slept for quite a wee while. When does it start? Only in about 1 minute's time. We are just waiting for this Canada versus France game to come to a close. Also, USA destroyed Canada. Yeah, great bit of batting. Not so much from Corey Anderson, unfortunately, only getting a few runs for himself in that contest. But yeah, good win for the USA in the opening game of the T20 World Cup. We have got there, Fiji has started. Says Tomu, according to the timing of the game, it should have started, but we are still waiting for the game between between Canada and France to come to a close. What time? It is pretty much 1 minute away. They just have to wait for the conclusion of the previous game before they make their way out onto the field. Seeing as at Madrid, we've only got the one field that they are able to play on. Go Fiji Go, says Sai. And also I expect no Americans to come, but I saw 10, says Dog Battery. Still, France versus Canada continues, but this game just around the corner, like I said. Do let me know your key players as well in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think will be able to step up? For me, of course, Jerry Tuwai being in the starting lineup is a massive advantage for the Fijians, although off the bench, we are going to see Dupont versus Toreo Vailawa, and that is the kind of little mini battle that I think we want to see multiple times throughout not just this game, not just the Olympics, but also maybe throughout 2025's competition in the Sevens. Of course, this is the last league that we are going to have for quite some time. Go Fiji Go, says Dio, and Go Fiji Go, says Avakesh. And there as well. And also the Fijian flags from Tomu. But last 8 penalties have gone against France in that game between France and Canada, which is why that game has not come to a close as of yet. I'm hoping it's very close to concluding though. And now it says below, almost. They should have started by now, but Canada are making it very difficult for France. So they don't quite want this game to end by the looks of it between the two sides. Okay, France, I think, have still not finished out this game. Canada are going to play for an extra 5 minutes by the looks of it in the women's semi-final. Of course, that is to book themselves a spot in the final up against the Australians. And this one, of course, the loser of this contest will go head-to-head with the loser of New Zealand versus Fiji. But, of course, a loss in both of these sides' minds is not an option here. They have to get the victory. And I feel like Fiji at the moment have a little bit more to lose in this game than the French. Go Fiji Go, says Sarima, I should say. Canada have still got the ball in that game up against the France. This is one of the longest extra time periods we have seen in a game of sevens, not just in Madrid, but for a very long time. Currently 3 minutes over. They've been ripped in a touch. That is going to be the end of the game. Okay, France are moving through to the final to face the Aussies. And now that does mean that the two sides, Fiji and also the French, are about to make their way out onto the field, ladies and gentlemen, for their semi-final. And this game, it is going to be an absolutely awesome one. Also off the bench for the Fijians, I should mention, they have got Vunaki, they have got Nodovalo, managed to score himself a last-minute try in another game, Naikalsa, and also they have also got their Saringa, or Sanila, I should say, coming off the bench for Fiji. For the substitutes of the French, they have got Barak, they have got Mazzolini, Pascal Dupont, and also Nelson Epe. Can I ask you a question? That depends on what the question is, but go for it. And Bulla, Go Fiji Go, says Nav there, and Fiji is semi-final 1 or 2. So this is the first semi-final. The next one that is going to be taking place is straight after this game, and that is between New Zealand and Argentina. And that game is also going to be a very awesome one. I hope that it's close. I have a feeling this game could be pretty close. If either of these sides were to run away with this game, I know that it sounds bold to say, but I honestly believe it would be France. I think that if Fiji are going to win this game, they will be competitive all throughout, and then they will get themselves a couple tries late in the contest and get themselves the win, whether that's from a comeback whether it is from being ahead in the get-go, and then I don't see France not being able to score in this game. That is the big thing. But then up against Argentina, they did struggle, so who knows how this one is going to go. Fiji and France, 6th at the moment overall in the standings for the Fijians. France are 5th. France is a good team, says Amazing Product. And Fiji all the way, says Jacob. And there as well, but both sides now out onto the field, ladies and gentlemen, for this matchup between the two sides. Logan Amasi will be the man who is in charge of this Fijian side for the captaincy. Who is Patterson? Oh, okay. They've got the name Patterson down for Walangi. I didn't know that that was his other name. Their last game was nail-biting. Now about South Africa, says Tomu, so they have the opportunity to get 5th place. They are going to be playing up against the Irish in a game in a few hours' time. We are scheduling that one after the semi-finals have come to a close. It's Dupont playing. He is, but he's off the bench for the French in this matchup. They are just showing him running off the field. Semi-final time on the men's side of the draw, ladies and gents, in Madrid. This one's going to be an epic one. It looks like the Fijians will be kicking off this one from left to right to get us underway. Let's go the Irish, says Tomu. And there Antosaviti, says Paras. And there as well. Now the countdown is on and we are ready to go, ladies and gentlemen, for the semi-final. Fiji kicking off from left to right, and Ioane Temba will get us underway. The man who was able to slot over that last-minute kick up against New Zealand and help the Fijians get themselves their first victory. That was an awkward one, but Rebash has taken it well inside of the 22. Now Joseph Jefferson Lee. Be a nice tackle made by Georgie Nasova. Way to the left-hand side here. Barak goes across our white to Jordan Sefo. Now, Fiji have to make sure they don't allow the wide channel to open up for the French throughout these games, as they are one of the most dangerous sides when it comes to being able to run down the wing, whether it is with Jordan Sefo or even Grandidier when he starts to go wide. Now, Fiji have managed to get themselves a turnover in the breakdown. They are in the 22 at the moment. Jeremiah Matana close to the touchline, puts the offload on the inside as a slap back by France, and they have got the possession back. Fiji making the tackle with the form of Jerry Tuwai. Hey, let's go, says Domu there. France only 10 metres out from their own try line. Jordan Sefo, they try and make the low tackle on him. He's knocked it on, and now it's in the hands of Jerry Tuwai, who is isolated, but they will go back for the original knock on. So now, chance for the Fijians. We have got there, go Fiji go, says Tom. And also we have got that Hamish, will you watch Papua New Guinea versus West Indies in 2 a.m? Possibly some of it. I know that at 2 a.m. we have also got a few other games of the Sevens that we are covering on the channel though. Go Fiji go, says Danger Bull. And Tosaviti Tosso says Paras. And Tavita is going for the Fijians. First minute felt like it was a lot longer, to be honest. Both of these sides are extremely competitive when they get their momentum flowing. Like they've just said, they haven't won a title since Toulouse in 2022 for Fiji, so they are more than ready to take themselves into that gold medal spot. Ioane Temba gets the pass from Jerry Tuwai. Now wide cut out pass, breaking the tackle there for Georgie Nasova. And that is the first try of the contest for Fiji in the semi-final. But Nasova, that is his second try in Madrid. It's been a consistent option for them, and he's shown that once again with a great finish in the corner to get himself that try. And yeah, great finish from Nasova to be able to break through. New Zealand will need a miracle to win this World Cup. Go France. And there as well from N. And go Fiji, says Anaf. Now, looking to get this kick over. It's going to be a relatively tricky one near the touchline for the Fijians, but they have managed to successfully get that one through the sticks, and that is going to make the score now 7-0 for the Fijians after just their 2.5 minutes. Jerry Tuwai got the assist of the assist there. No matter where that man is in that backline, he can be so crucial and so pivotal for the way that this Fijian side are able to play. Rebaj takes it inside of the 22. Now Pauline Reva goes across to the right-hand side. Fournier almost able to go through. Like he was doing a forward roly-poly there. Tosaviti. Hey, Hamish, can I ask you something? Go for it. I know that the last question, or the last time someone asked that, they didn't actually ask me a question in the end. That was a nice, powerful tackle made by Sevu Mothenofangi. Pauline Riva. They're inside of their 22 at the moment and not really making a huge amount of meters here. But now Joseph Jefferson Lee. I mentioned about that wide channel, and that is what Joseph Jefferson Lee has just run through. Trying to get the turnover and the breakdown there, Fiji, but they weren't able to get themselves the ball. I went sometimes in the chat, why do you say says, etc. Ronaldo? I guess it's just easier than saying it in a different order, I guess you'd say. And I feel like because people are making the effort of commenting, I should make the effort of reading out their name as well, rather than just reading their comment, if that makes sense. Tasaviti says Samasoni, see? In that case, same situation. Now, Pascal Barak going to be tackled on the halfway line. France getting some good position here. Jerry Tuai already had to make a few tackles throughout this game. Joseph Jefferson Lee trying to make his way through. Now Ribage plays half. Going away to the left-hand side. It means he's shouting them out. Pretty much, yeah. Now to the corner. Oh, this is... What's happened there? Jerry Tuai looked like he had no energy left to try and chase down the French player. And that is going to now be the try for France. It is Ryan Ribage who does score it, and that's going to make the scores close to level. Right. What happens here to Jerry Tuai? Because he was covering his fullback. I think he realised he wasn't going to be able to catch him. Maybe did you get some rest? Yeah, good to see you go, Fiji Tosoviti. I think I got like 2 hours of sleep for my night after the URC was finished. This tournament's playoffs for the Olympics. They are not, but at the moment, a lot of these sides have already confirmed their spot in the Olympics. That kick has gone over from JP Barak, and that will now make the score 7-all between these two sides, with the final just around the corner. If these sides want to make it through to the next stage. Simran has got their Fiji and the chat as well. Now going for the kickoff here for the French. And that is going to be slapped back by Jordan Sefo. Gets his offload away. That's a yellow card, unfortunately, for Ioane Temba. And, yep, double blow of the whistle. Oh, no, sorry. There's no yellow card because there was initially the knock-on from Jordan Sefo. Now, that is a very harsh one because I believe that ball went backwards, but it has saved Ioane Temba from making his way to the bin for the next 2 minutes. Did you eat pizza? Sadly not, no. Haven't had any pizza as of yet, but I'm looking forward to having some pizza at some stage soon. As this tournament playoffs, I know I read that one, didn't I? Now, Jerry Tuai to feed this ball into the scrum. 50 seconds remaining. Is this knockout semi? It certainly is going to be the matchup for the semi-final. New Zealand play Argentina just around the corner as well. Loganamasi has to play halfback there. Fiji looking to bust their way over the top of Ribage's defence. One of the try scorers in this contest. There are only 2 at this point. Nice stepping from Jerry Tuai. Another offload coming for the Fijians. Ioane Temba. Nice step from him. And that looks like a good clean turnover for the French. 20 seconds left. Mazzolini, the man who was able to win the penalty for the French there. Not a lot of time remaining. 10 seconds to be exact. And now that one's come off the side of the boot. I don't believe that's finding touch. No, it isn't. They've got 1 second remaining. Here's the siren there, Jerry Tuai. But the French and Fijians, they will continue playing even though their halftime siren has sounded. Fiji know that this is their perfect opportunity of being able to score and get a lead. Going into halftime, Georgie Nasova tackled by Jefferson. Now back across. The right-hand side here for the Fijians. Nice offload coming to Jerry Tuai. Double step. Gets taken down awkwardly. Hopefully his knee is going to be all right there. Now Walangi going across to Ioane Temba. Gets a nice step. And the wide cut-out pass in behind for the Fijians out wide. Going to be Georgie Nasova. Ioane Temba looking both ways. Decides to shift it to the right-hand side. Here comes the big man. Walangi goes away to Jeremiah Matana. Offload, little bit loose from Fiji, but it sits up now for Ioane Temba. Gets his offload away. Step on the outside from Jerry Tuwai. Another offload over the head. Offload from the Fijians, and Ioane Temba will score it. That is some classic Fijian flair right there as they score themselves their second try of the match. And that is the first for Ioane Temba. That was immaculate in terms of those offloads, all going backwards, keeping the ball alive every time they hit the ground. And just some classic passes there for the Fijians. Come on, Fiji, says Paras there. And also we get their Fiji will win, says Timothy. And yes, Hanoi says T7. Ioane Temba scores himself that try. Fiji have got themselves the 14 points to 7 lead now at halftime. Fiji needs Severis and Valentini, says Hanoi. Could this be the Paris pre-Olympic Sevens final? Says Alori. Well, that's the thing. Both of these sides are in some very good form throughout this competition. Of course, France losing that one game to Argentina. They would love to get the redemption in the final. But first of all, they have to get past this challenging Fijian lineup. And Fiji want to try and beat New Zealand again. That is another battle that could happen in the final if results go the way we do anticipate. Now, New Zealand coming as favourites, I believe, up against Argentina. They've gone with that experienced side. Argentina got a fair amount of experience available as well, though. And Avakesh has said, a good Fiji and Vanakavitti. Actually, maybe they don't need any more, or anyone from Super, says Hanoi. Currently 14 points to 12. We have got the halftime break. We are yet to see Antoine Dupont, Fiji versus New Zealand finals, calling it. I'd be very happy if that was the case, because from the very start of the competition, I predicted a final taking place between Fiji and New Zealand, and then I predicted Fiji to win. Point of view when you don't have Walesi, YouTube on top, says Joshua, and there as well. And so South Africa and Oz bombed out, it seems. They did indeed. So South Africa going to be playing up against the Irish in their game taking place for 5th place. A nice water, Bro Puma says it was there from Danger, although it's Pump, not Puma. It's got the P in there at the end as well. And does Fiji have a chance to win the series? They certainly do, because if they win this one, they go through to the final. New Zealand versus Argentina is not too far away from starting, ladies and gentlemen. I think I'm going to have to quickly check what time I was supposed to start that live stream. Looks like Antoine Dupont is now onto the field for the French. That is a big sub that they have just made. Are we going to look now? Okay, we're all right. That live stream is going to start in about 7 minutes' time for that next one. And Vamos Pumas. And does Fiji have a chance? And Fiji and Flair keep up the good work. Fiji, says Moa Hunt, is nicely taken by Fiji inside of their 22. Can you show them playing? Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube and would mean that we weren't able to do any streaming for the next 3 months. But I hope that the highlights and the 4-match replays will be up on YouTube at some stage on a few other YouTube channels. Is it already halftime? It is. Only 7 minutes in that first half. Looks like Nate Kulsa is now onto the field for Fiji as well here. The 7-point lead in favour of the Fijians. That's going to be a nice ball from Jeremiah Matana. Gets it away to Ioane Temba, who did score the last try of the match for the Fijians. Antoine Dupont went for the turnover. Wasn't able to get it, putting Ponepati Loganamasi under pressure. That's going to be the knock-on there from Fiji, just inside of their own 22. The Rebels presented 2 drawer guys with caps. Played for the Rebels in the past, says Hanoi. 3 months damn, that's a big penalty, says Hanoi. And Fiji keep out Dupont. They win. Well, Dupont was actually the man who initially put the pressure on in that breakdown. May have led to a little bit of a rough pass. Let's focus on the match until the final whistle, says Illness. And as well, and that's the thing, like, both of these sides, of course, they'll be looking around the corner for the chance of being able to get themselves the victory and get themselves the goal, but they have to beat what's in front of them. France have played in just 9 cup finals throughout all time, and 2 of them were this season. It's a stat that they have just shown. Fiji keep it up, says Lucena there. And let's go Fiji, but France currently on the 22. Quick hands from Antoine Dupont. Gets it away to Joseph. He wants the corner. The Fijians just drag him down short They have to stay onside though. Rebash crawls over and he will get himself the try. France are back in this game, ladies and gentlemen, and neither of these sides can take a backward step in this contest, or else it may end up costing them this game. But the Fijians, the crucial error is the second half already, and how many minutes? So it is 7 minutes per half. So, yeah, flies by pretty quick. And we are in the second half at the moment. Would you say Dupont is the best player in the world at the moment? There is a big debate. Many people such as Jim Hamilton believe he is. I mean, at the moment, his record that he has had for Toulouse, what he's been able to do for France, you know, he's definitely in a big conversation about it. That is for sure. Pacific will win. My country says Pacific in there as well. And Tosso Fiji, Tosso in the chat. Tosso Fiji, Tosso says Lucena. And then the Spanish heat should suit Fiji, says Hanoi. And yeah, whether or not late into this game we start to see the Fijian flair start to reach an all-time high. We've already seen a fantastic offloading try for them. That is knocked on from Grandidier this time for the French. And Fiji are going to have themselves the scrum feed here. 4.5 minutes. The moment remaining. I know Fiji do something, boys. So here's a danger ball. Fiji failed to make the Cup's final in the Sevens Series regular season for the first time ever in 2024. Like they have just mentioned. And that was, of course, in the Singapore Sevens. The Fijians finished outside of the top 8, and it wasn't their best performance by any means. But ever since Jerry Tawai's returned, just seems like it's put them on the right track. That is going to be the penalty going the way of the Fijians. Taria Vailawa is now onto the field as well, I should mention. He is always an X factor late in a contest. Only seen 2 penalties throughout this game so far. Both sides having great discipline. It's just been the handling that has let them down. Quick tap taken by Vailawa. Now gets it away to Naikosa. Fijian side in position just on their 22. Back inside of the 22 now with Naikosa. Good step from him and the big fend on Steven Perez-Martin. Dupont trying to rip that ball away. It's a tackle. The commentator, I think he loves Dupont a little bit too much. He just said, look at the biceps of Antoine Dupont popping when he makes that tackle. I feel like someone's got a little bit of a crush on Antoine Dupont, but now going to the right-hand side here for the Fijians, almost through. Still in position, though, moving up towards the halfway line. Normally, they are at their most dangerous when they get that counter-attack. And tell you what, Antoine Dupont has just managed to get that turnover in the breakdown. So France now back in position with the game sitting 14 points to 14. He's lucky too, as only missing the Argentina tour this July, says Hanoi. Now, nice step from Steven Perez-Martin. Got the ball on the inside to Pasquet. He's looked to put that ball in. Looks like it's going to be the advantage in favour of the French for a knock-on from Fiji. Steven Perez-Martin taking down. How many minutes left at the moment? Still 2.5 minutes remaining in this contest. So plenty of time remaining for 1 or 2 more tries. And France looking to get themselves their next one. Rebash tackled hard by Logan Amasi. Now Riva almost had a knock-on the ground there. Steven Perez-Martin looking for a gap. Back to Antoine Dupont. Now skip pass out to Perez-Martin. Good step from him. And the ball is loose. Fiji on it, but they've given away the penalty for, I believe, offside going against, I think it was Georgi Nasova. The man is a penalty magnet at the moment. Now nice stepping from Dupont. Gets the ball on the outside. Fiji have to try and shut down Joseph. He's only just out from the line and he slams it down. France have scored with 100 seconds remaining. And they will go into the lead. 19 points to 14. The big question now, of course, is whether or not this kick is going to be successful. But the first initial steal in the breakdown was Antoine Dupont. Fiji embarrassed. I wouldn't call losing by 5 points at the moment embarrassing by any sense of the word. Because at the moment, I mean, we've seen already throughout this season, France are top contenders. Like we said, they made it through to the final twice, which is more than they have almost throughout any other season. France will win this game. There's Lonsdale now lining up the kick. Has he got it? He certainly has. That is sensational there. And that will now make the score 21 points to 14. Come on, Fiji defense. Keep it going, Vitti. There's Lucena there. So the Fijians, if they can score and convert, they would. go to golden point time here, unless, of course, there are other tries that are being scored along the way. Bloody Dupont's biceps, says Laurie. What I don't get is why Fiji has such a good team. Can't seem to get over the line when it matters, says Stephen Pope. And I mean, it's all about finding that right balance. I think that they've found it a little bit better in this contest. We've seen it throughout their first 2 games. At the moment, though, they have just really lost the territory battle. They've hardly been inside of the French half, and that's been hurting them quite a bit, but nicely taken by Waisia Notongu. Now Riva trying to push him towards the touchline, looking for the counter ruck here as well from the French. And come on, Fiji, says Avikesh, and Tosa Fititoso, says Anna. The best case scenario here for the Fijians is for them to get themselves a try very soon. Nice Aladami from Taria Valawa. Absolute superstar with the ball in hand. Dupont sees so many jackals up close that he knows how to do it. Says annoying. That's going to be the penalty going the way of Fiji. France stealing that ball. They've also taken the ball away a little bit there, France. Be careful doing that in a game of sevens, or else you can get yourself a yellow card for time wasting. Throwing that ball away, but currently Fiji in position inside of their 22. I mentioned about their territory battle. So far, they haven't had a huge amount of it. Now pass on the inside. This is the opportunity for the Fijians. They move out to the halfway line with the big man, Uolangi. He's isolated there, though. He's thrown the ball back, and it's somehow back into the breakdown. France get the penalty. And I believe that is going to be time up in this contest. And the French are going to make it through to the final of the Madrid Sevens. Fiji, they will be going head-to-head with either New Zealand or they will be going head-to-head with Argentina, depending on what happens here. But France are through to the final. They can thank Antoine Dupont for that one, getting a crucial turnover and a try assist to help his side once again get themselves through to the final. And the last time Dupont was a part of the Seven circuit for the French, they did win the whole competition. So certainly going to be a big one in this final. But thank you all very much for tuning in. The next live stream that we are doing is between New Zealand and Argentina for the second semi-final, and that is just around the corner. Still a brilliant effort from Fiji in this game. Unfortunately, though, like I mentioned, the territory battle, they weren't able to get out of their own half, and that is what really cost Fiji throughout this contest. But thank you all very much for tuning in. We will be popping over to the next game. End score 21 points to 14 in favour of the French. We will see you all for the next one.